Are we going straight into it? We're not having a chat or anything, then we're just going straight into it.
And a microphone. The UK's first painting and decorating podcast with Trev and Ryan.
Ryan's gone charging into this podcast, this comeback podcast. No discussion.
No prep. Let's just get into it because we tried to record one of these. We tried to do it on video and everything, and then we found out in the intervening years since we've done one of these podcasts that the microphone has died a death. So we recorded about 20 minutes.
And it was absolutely horrendous.
I thought we had a
the audio.
The audio was pretty bad, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, we're just sorry. Getting back to being on the deck.
Yeah.
We are. The podcast at one point will come back in a bit of a new form, but this new form isn't really happening. So I thought, how about we put the cart before the horse and we start recording the podcast?
What's the new form then?
Well,
right.
Not so much this. We might get something a little bit rockier or a little bit more than the default one on the
I
on
made
the,
that
on the desk. No, you didn't.
I got someone to
record the vocal over the top of it.
We don't need that now with AI. We can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can make up my own.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Look, watch your space.
And we're gonna sort of maybe do some paid for stuff, but just a little bit more exclusive and on some other things. But
so where are we going to find this then? Where is this going to be found?
That's to come.
Okay. So
right now, all it is I've been asked by about 5 different people because you posted something up on Facebook the other day saying that we're coming back.
Yeah.
So we now need to get something out because we said we were.
So we're going to put this on YouTube?
So,
that's the plan.
probably put this on YouTube. I'll see if I can find a couple of the lost episodes.
No, we've got a couple. I'll put them up as well.
You've got them?
Do. I've got them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you uploading these then?
Yeah.
Cool. See, on-air meetings.
I've got 2.
Some things don't change, guys. Some things do not change.
I mean, what we spoke about in the podcast may not be relevant anymore. the people we're talking about, all the
you just put them up as the lost tapes. That's all you need to do. Put them up as the lost tapes. They don't need to be dated. They're content.
The companies we were talking about may have gone bust. The people we were talking about may be dead. So the brushes we were on about, you may not be able to get anymore.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
other than that,
great content as usual.
Yeah.
So what's been happening since we've not been around?
Jesus, I've moved. I now live right next to the yard, which is nice. I'm living in the countryside, not living in Woking, like properly in the middle of the back end of nowhere.
Taking up walking.
Great, taking up walking. Doing a bit less fishing because I don't live on a pond anymore, but I still manage to get a hook out every now and then. You drove your van into the back of a Fiesta.
Oh God, yeah. There was this
someone hit a patch of gravel, realised they're not Colin McRae, and then
this stupid woman in a Fiesta going down this country lane.
I think when you rear end someone, mate, I don't think there's much call for blame. Much like mine, the matey had his dents were in the side of his car, so I don't think he had really much choice about what was happening.
No, but he was driving a BMW, so he deserves all he gets.
I still think he was going a bit fast for that bit of road.
But anyway, let's talk about me. There's this country lane from the yard where we are currently to a job we were working at in 4 Marks. There's this little windy lane, and to be fair, it's quite a nice bit of road if it's empty.
Yeah, because you can see quite far as well, and if you put your foot down, it is quite nice.
It's quite a nice little. It does, yeah. But anyway, I was the woman in front of me in a Fiesta. She thought she was driving a bloody 7.5 ton lorry, I think.
Yeah.
So transit van coming towards her. There was room to get past, but her and her Fiesta decided that she'd stop. Maybe I was going a little bit faster than I should have, and was pulled over into the verge because I thought I was going to hit her. Put my foot on the brakes, hit the gravel, and slid into the back of her Fiesta.
So was she stopping?
Was
she stopped, or was she stopping in front of you?
She was stopping in front of me because there was a pothole.
Well then, so to be fair though, that's sort of what when you do your driving lessons, it is mirror signal maneuver.
Yeah.
She obviously didn't look in her mirror, because when you brake, you're still supposed to look in your rearview mirror and see if there's anything behind you. And whether, if she had an Arctic that close behind her, the Arctic wouldn't be able to stop in time.
At a certain point, she didn't need to mirrors to know that I was behind her. the back, her rear windscreen hitting the ground was a big indicator that I was behind her. So she jumped out. What'd you do that for?
I did deliberately, did I, princess?
Maybe if you could drive your Fiesta a bit, man, then it wouldn't have happened. But anyway, yeah, it was probably my fault. I was probably going a little bit.
Yeah, well, but anyway, we've got a new van that said goodbye to the Connect and said hello to the, what have you got now? Dispatch.
Belingo.
Yeah. No, see, I don't get that, because Belingos to me are always really small, and that looks like a big van, a big small van.
It is a big small van. I was looking at getting the Dispatch.
I still think you should have got that Astra van with the black alloys.
Oh, yeah, and you go, when you're buying a van, and just look at vans, and you just get fed up with it in the end.
No, unfortunately, I don't get to look at vans, because the one I look at is the one that's cheapest.
No, it was all right. It was already done for you. Done deal, not a problem.
Already organised.
Yeah, so that was that's been happening. What else has been happening? Oh, we've had a nipper with us.
Been and gone.
Harley. All he was a 17-year-old. And all he wanted to do was get his girlfriend pregnant.
Yeah, let's not dox the boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you'd put more effort into work and less into that, then we'd have probably been all right.
Nothing else of major.
Yeah, there is.
Really, is there?
Like
what?
Stuff's gone on.
Nah.
There is.
This is coming back as well.
What? Oh, yeah.
At some point.
No, not today.
No, we can come back today if you want.
Oh.
But
that is just too good not to that's not got to be shelved.
Just because Johnny Vaughan does it.
That's perfect. What else has been happening? What else have I been involved in? Oh yeah. I
can mute if you want.
No. I've been asked over the past, God knows how many years, 2 or 3 years at least, to go and speak or do a presentation at this trade decorator show. So did that this year.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple of days.
Yeah, so I've done that. We can talk about that in another show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about it now, do we? But,
you normally have your notebook. Is your notebook not in the van?
No, I'm just doing this off my bonnet.
Off the dome.
So we could talk about that in another episode. That'd be another reason to do another podcast.
Yeah, maybe then.
What's been happening in your world?
I don't know, mate. Nothing really happens in my world, to be honest.
Yeah. Fell out with one of our neighbours.
Oh yeah, that was
Right. We can talk about that. Let's get some public opinion about this. So, we've got the workshop. What are you doing?
You just keep talking.
Okay, all right. We've got our workshop in a big barn, and to get into the barn, there's a big old slidey green door, isn't there? That is padlocked. So, but because there's other sort of units in this barn with us, that door stays open. And on our workshop, we've got a little double doors to get in. So generally, when we're in the workshop, we leave these doors open. And the workshop's separated into a big open space where we got like a kitchen and keep our tools, and just inside the door is a big pile of dust sheets where we keep the dust sheets, because it's quite handy if we just need a junk, run in, get some dust sheets and go. And then we've got a separate bit where the spray booth is and spray prep. We've got a little prep area and all that. So if you're working in the spraying bit, another door to go through, and it's separate from the open area. So going back to when we had the young lad with us, he used to turn up quite early. So I've just put a camera there just to make sure that he was all well. Basically, he was all right
because of where he's from. You sort of
no. I just, if he was there, the camera was quite handy because so I could see that he'd turned up, and if I was there or if he wasn't, I just know that he was all right. It wasn't a trust thing. It was just to make sure. It's a welfare thing. There we go. That's better. It was more for his welfare
Okay, well.
than his tea-leafery. That's a good word. So anyway, we had this camera. Anyway, I got a notification one day. I don't know where I was. I got a notification come up. Ryan's old boss Joe was here with Vicky doing some spraying in the spray part, weren't they?
Yep.
Separately.
Yeah.
So they were just doing their thing. So then I thought that's strange. So anyway, the camera went off, sent me a notification. Reviewed this bit of video, and our neighbour, who's got a little workshop across the way in a separate building, came in the door, took a dust sheet, sort of looked round a little bit sneakily,
And just sort of walked out.
took a dust sheet and walked out. So I thought, well, that's strange. So
And bearing in mind, a bit of context on this neighbour. Well, up until this point,
yeah.
he was all right. He was a bit of a...
well, no, let's go full disclosure.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh, yeah?
I mean,
Well,
like, I'm just trying to build up the history that we've had. Like, he was all right, but
he's all right.
he sort of kept to himself a bit, and you'd have a chat with him, but we asked him a couple of times to do a few bits.
yeah.
And it was always sort of like, you ask him, if he asked you for a favour, it'd be next day.
Yeah.
But if you asked him for a favour, it'd be whenever he could be fucking bothered to
Which
do
is
it.
probably somewhere never.
Yeah, and he used to be a mechanic, and I asked him to look at my van and never even bothered looking, and I was in quite a bit of a desperate thing to get my van looked at and get it back on the road, and he can even be asked to look at it, when it's a 30-second walk at most. And then around Christmas time, he has this little black lab that she's adorable,
yeah.
lovely dog.
Whenever we're there, she comes up.
Yeah,
running
because I
over
always
like
give her a
that.
ton of fuss. She always comes running over to me. And anyway, it was around Christmas time. It wasn't raining that hard, was it? It was
drizzly.
A bit of a drizzle. If you're an
Yeah.
Englishman, you can put up with a bit of rain like that. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And anyway, I came stepping out of the yard, and his dog came running up to me. If you tap, no, you don't need to hang up. You can just tap the there you go.
Yeah.
I came out of the yard, and he was just walking off to take his dog for a walk. But because the dog saw me, she came bounding over to me. He called her back really aggressively, and then when she got back to him, he gave her a kick in the ribs. And she's a lovely dog. And from that moment, I didn't talk to him, because in my mind, the way you treat animals is a good indicator of the type of person that you are.
And then shortly after that,
But Dad was still chatting to him, and still fairly friendly.
Well, because I thought-
and this was before the
dust sheet.
dust sheet gate.
So
Sheetgate. So yeah, I was like, fine. I don't really want to talk to you anymore. I don't really want to interact with you. All you ever want is favors, and you never actually want to return those favors in any sort of significant way.
So
And you're a bit of a dick to your dog, so you
lot
know.
of a dick. So the dust sheet's gone. So I phone him up and just ask him. When you bring the dust sheets back, because we might need them for a job. And it all really escalated quite quickly from there, didn't it?
Yeah, you started, and you can be quick to anger as a man sometimes, but you handled it because we just had a conversation about it, I think, a couple of days before.
And right, yeah. So I phoned up Ryan fuming. Ryan said the best thing to do is just turn your phone off, which was the best bit of advice ever, because I left it a couple of hours, turned my phone on, and 22 missed calls.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Very much. It feels when you relay the story, it feels a bit ridiculous.
It does
The
seem
fact
very
it's over
petty.
a handful of dust sheets, but I think what it is that he reacted like that because he knew essentially he was in the wrong. Because it wasn't even so much like we would have. It wasn't like you need to come and ask us permission. If he'd just said,
it's a respect thing.
I'm grabbing a couple of sheets, I'll bring them back in a bit.
Yeah, cool.
That's not even asking. That's just letting us know what's happening.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah,
The
we would have taken.
The thing is, you don't,
Because it's just a couple of dust sheets. It doesn't matter that much.
you just don't wander into someone else's workshop and take their shit.
yeah.
You don't. That's not what you do.
And we were friendly enough that it could have been just I'm grabbing a couple. Not please could I grab a couple. I am grabbing a couple. I'll bring them back in a sec.
Even to the point where he could have stuck his head in where Joe and Vicky were working and just said, oh, by the way...
Because you've seen them around here before as well, haven't you?
Yeah. So that was like so. Funny, I left a message on his answer phone. Woke up to 22 sort of messages. Didn't really go any further than that until one day Ryan and Bex were.
Oh well, it was so. This was before we moved in, about 2 or 3 weeks before we moved in down here, and then. When we moved in, it was just sort of like you could tell he sort of had a bee in his bonnet about it. Still, weeks later, still, and it was nothing. It was nothing to do with me. It was nothing to do with my missus.
No.
So I don't know why. Like I'd not been talking to him for months by that point. So, but then it was there, sort of, banging dents out of the car at 9 o'clock in the evening and stuff like that. And I understand where I live on a yard. It's going to be noisy, but then. 10 o'clock 11 o'clock in the evening, and you're full force blaring music and working out there with an angle grinder, like a little much. And then I was working in the yard, doing a few bits, and I said to my missus, like, oh, when dinner's ready, just come out and grab me, and I'll come back in. And she came out, and then I was showing her what we were doing. And in that meantime, it was probably 7 in the evening, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In that time, he'd locked us in the yard. Like, fully shut the sliding door, locked us in it, and I could hear him walking in front of the door, and I'm kicking the door, banging on the side. It's a tin hut. I'm banging on the tin, kicking the door, making the whole sliding door wobble, and he didn't bother opening it up again, mostly because I think he knew that if he opened that door up, first thing I was going to do was punch him in the fucking teeth.
So
and eventually,
I get a phone call,
Dad gets a phone call, and he comes up, and matey, lucky enough, leaves about a minute or two before Dad manages to get here. But that's the other thing as well. He's had a couple of cameras on here because he's been here for quite a while. He had a couple of cameras on his little barn that's like separate from our barn, and one of those cameras I noticed ended up being pointed directly into my flat. Yeah, like fully. Could see into my flat, so I was waking up in the morning, and in the nud was doing some stretches in the front of the window, and if you want to see something, I'll give you something to see. So I went out there after we got let out. Me and Dad came and let us out.
Ryan come out.
I came charging out there with a 16-foot roller pole, and I smashed the fucking camera off of the wall. And I mean...
And ever since then...
it seems to have settled down a little bit. I mean, I still don't talk to the bloke. I just ignore him whenever he's here. I'm quite happy to do that. I don't know why it had to be sort of descended to such a childish fucking thing of playing music late and...
Very strange behaviour.
Yeah.
So...
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing is that my other half, she suffers quite a lot with her anger. She doesn't. If you know about, if you know about EPD, or it used to be called BPD, borderline personality disorder, but I think EUPD is a better way of saying it. Emotionally unstable personality disorder. Is very descriptive of what she suffers with. But basically, if you get on the wrong side of her, you're going to permanently stay on the wrong side of her, and every now and then she'll get that worked up that she'll just decide to just try and find any ways to mess with you. And I was trying my best, and I don't think he realised what sort of game he was playing. Yeah. Or maybe he knew the game he was playing, but not the players that he was playing it with. Because I spent less time trying to sort of deal with him, and more time trying to keep her calm.
But
so
it's just very.
She might have had a few says in that sort of little battle, and I think that was
we could talk about that.
That'll be on there maybe when we will we do a paid for section again. Is there any point in hiring someone if we're gonna smash the podcast out again?
No.
Call up matey then.
Yeah. What?
Call up matey.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got called an influencer the other day, didn't you?
I know I'm not an influencer, content creator. Thank you.
Influencer.
Yeah, influencer. But Yeah, so that's really what I can't get my head around is why don't you just be man enough and say I fucked up.
Yeah, because you even went up to him and said,
Yeah.
like, look, this is getting a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do we need to have a word?
Can we just
No,
clear the air? Can we
no, I don't think so.
Can we clear the air?
I don't want to. No,
And you think, well,
no.
you're in the wrong. I'm trying to hand out holly on an olive branch here, and you just think, oh, mate.
No, I'm not. And
Yeah.
you essentially is a mid-50s man that is still referred to as his nickname that you got when he was a teenager and fucking grow up, man.
So yeah, that's been one of the highlights of the last few.
I wouldn't say highlight necessarily,
Well, no,
not when you've got to live here.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of anything else that's sort of. What else has happened? Where else have we been? What else has who else has upset us?
No one really. We've been fairly
What trauma
quiet.
have we had?
That's the problem with your generation. All you go on about is trauma.
Oh, we have trauma.
Um,
Trying to think what else.
That's what I mean, it's
Maybe
been
we should have
fairly quiet.
spoke
I
about
can't-
this before. And
No, because we do a lot of speaking about it. We've spoken about this for years now, and at a certain point, I think you just got to do it. If we can't remember what we've spent hours talking about, then it obviously was no good in the first place.
oh,
Do you have any notes on your phone? Oh no, because you smashed up your phone.
smashed up my phone.
Smashed up the phone.
We tried Max and Jack on a proper man's job,
Oh yeah,
but they
yeah.
weren't up to
I
them.
forgot about that.
They weren't up to it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shower as well, wasn't
That
it?
was an absolute. Yeah.
Again, that there's a lot of stuff we I think we need to go right now into the paid bit.
Yeah, we can't. We're not really going to talk about that on here. That's definitely premium content.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that we should be writing this. Well, no.
Well, I swear this might be on one of the lost episodes. I think because I remember talking about it. But
Did we?
because I remember talking about how I worked out, and this is a teaser of what that whole situation sort of involved. But you all know my love of Capadin.
Oh, yeah.
And how it just seems to just keep going. You can just keep that stuff
Turns
going.
out we found someone that loves Capadin more than Ryan.
Um,
For all the wrong
because
reasons.
what did I work out? I can't remember the exact numbers. I'm going to pull these out of my bum, but somewhere along the lines of that I could get 22 square meters a litre out of it.
Well, I think it's about right. Yeah, that's
And then we worked it out that they were getting about 10 square meters a litre out of it.
Yeah, it was.
So not even that they were getting like 17 or 18 out of it. They were getting not under half of what I was getting out of it.
Yeah.
And then wondered why, we weren't particularly happy with their work. And it's well, we've spent more in materials than we were going to spend in labour on the entire job.
Yeah, so they may have spoken about it, so that'd be a good reason to find the 2 lost episodes that will be on YouTube. So,
The lost tapes.
well, there's me telling you will be on YouTube. You wouldn't have, otherwise you won't listen to this. You must have found it on YouTube. Anyway.
You must have found a YouTube somewhere.
Yeah. So why am I telling
So
you?
if you click on the link in the description, there's going to be no links in any descriptions. Oh, you're not idiots. Figure it out. That's what I hate. I hate the like getting spoon-fed stuff. It will be on our channel. You're not idiots. Figure it out.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I done with you, and that I'm actually quite proud of you about. Is I remember years ago you kept asking me questions about computer, about what about this, what about this, what about that? And some of them were really simple. You could figure it out easy enough. And I said to you, I'm not coming and helping you out with a problem on your computer unless I can go into your history and see that you've Googled it a couple of times.
History. God's sake. I had to buy a whole new laptop for this exercise, otherwise I'd have...
And yeah, unless I can see that you've actually tried to Google and figure out a solution yourself a couple of times, then I can come and help you out. And you took that to heart, and you actually know your way around a computer now.
Oh, thanks, Roy. Thinking about... Oh, yeah, I launched a little bit of a PDF as well. Didn't I? That worked back in January, so that's gone all right. A little bit to help decorators sort out their day rate.
Yeah.
There will be a link in the description for that.
Definitely. There's money.
So yeah, if you're struggling with your day rate and you want to know exactly what you should be charging a day, or what you know, not what you should be charging, the minimum you should be earning a day.
Yeah, there you go. That's a better way of saying it.
And then whatever you put on top of that day rate is completely bunched for you. And there will be a link in the description below. And then you can go there, buy the PDF, and thank me later for being rich.
There you go. I like that.
So yeah, that's a little bit of a promotion there.
Yeah. The other way we were thinking, and I might back end of this. I'm sure we'll figure it out. We're going to try and be a little bit shorter and sweeter on these podcasts, I think, because I think we're better off. The reason I wanted to stop doing them.
Oh look, this is the question everybody has answered.
What I find a lot, and I done my first podcast, like hosted my first podcast back probably in like 2010, 2011. I was 15, 16. Like I wasn't. So I've like people seem to think podcasts that are out now with all these comedians and celebrities and like Peter Crouch doing a podcast and everyone doing a podcast.
They've definitely got more popular.
Like they've got more. They've got more popular. And I don't necessarily. You say since we've stopped, but they've been gaining in popularity since 2008, which is when Apple sort of done their podcast app on the phone, and then that's I've noticed in podcasts that I've listened to over the time that what they end up doing is you make longer and longer content, but then you're still stretching out the same amount of content, and the quality declines. You know,
and
like
that's where is that where we felt we?
I can throw out like Painkiller already, and there you go, that's you. Dad's sliding down in the chair. We've now moved to the new studio. From the studio, we've got. Some It's good. Like today, when there's no one else around, I love it in it.
Yeah,
but it's when you've got 4 chippies chopping up bloody 10 by 10 bits of oak.
What you're saying, you can edit that out now with AI.
Yeah,
honestly.
but I would rather not edit it out. I'd rather just have clean audio from the start.
Okay, all right. So yeah,
because the more you mess with things, the more it can decline.
Okay, so
anyway,
what I'm saying is, we've got some nice, comfy, like Chesterfield style chairs now that we sit in. Well, and Ryan's got an old, but it's nice and comfy, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's comfy.
Yeah, it's comfy. Yes, Dad, it is comfy.
It is comfy.
But I just noticed that, and I mean, you can find it in any sort of media. You look at Family Guy. You look at. They also call it Flanderization,
right?
Which is where you eventually become a caricature of yourself. Mm-hmm. Like you look at Always Sunny. You tell me that the first 5 or 6 seasons of Always Sunny aren't better than the later seasons. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because eventually what they've stopped doing is being normal people, and now you can tell that they're very Hollywood and very. I can see that's making you itch.
Yeah.
Even if you listen to the Always Sunny podcast, it started out that the premise of their one was they talk about an episode show.
Yeah.
And they talk about how they done the episode, right? And they were just sort of in a writer's room in their offices, and now they've got a whole set with lights and all of this, and all they're talking about is rich people problems about living in LA.
Yeah.
About how they couldn't get this fancy new Tesla, or how they couldn't get this. And
so yeah, it's getting away.
And then it sort of veers out of it, and I wanted to, because I noticed that we weren't actually. I was just shouting and screaming every week. You were getting wound up every week. We were just blasting through jingles and playing music and.
Are we going to still play a tune at the end or not?
I get that it's fun and I get that it's funny, but for how long?
Yeah,
I didn't want to put years of that out. I didn't want to put months of that out.
But I think people enjoyed that.
I just wanted.
They enjoyed you losing your shit.
At the end of the day. Yeah, I understand. Like, I get that it's funny when I lose my rag a little bit, but
maybe you're doing it too often.
I'm doing that for half an hour every show every week,
yeah, it's a bit samey,
and it's not really what I wanted to do either.
Yeah. I thought it was good therapy for you. I thought it was better. You seem when you let it out, you definitely seem to be a better person.
Course. But like, I just didn't. I I noticed the quality. Maybe we weren't at the bottom of the hill of quality, but I noticed us started to slide down that hill, and I just wanted to put a stop on it where we could.
Yeah.
And then, because then I'd be driving home some weeks thinking we done really great, but more and more I was driving home thinking that wasn't a great podcast, that there wasn't anything in that, and that was the same as last week, that was blah blah blah. And yeah, even if it takes a couple of years to get reinvigorated and sort of come back into it a bit fresh, then it is what it is. You all waited long enough.
So this could be called the real reason podcast.
We're still the only decent painting and decorating podcast in the UK.
Our brothers the brush still going?
This week we're talking about pain.
And the good news is we've run out of people to upset us, haven't we?
Yeah.
Dulux is still talking to us. I'm still in Select. So.
Yeah. So I've not achieved my targets just yet. Dulux Trade. Forgot about them.
Oh yeah, Dulux Trade.
Yeah, Dulux Trade.
Yeah.
Weather Shield.
Yeah.
What?
No, I was going to say, I think we made a boo-boo. I was just about to slag off Weather Shield, Dulux, Weather Shield.
Yeah.
Their new water-based Weather Shield. But I think we fucked up, to be honest. There's the first swear word.
No, it's not. I've sworn 4 or 5 times in this.
Oh, I'm not noticed. I must be immune to it. we got 2.5 litres of Weather Shield waterborne, didn't we, last year? Yeah. And we sprayed it.
We did. It was a freebie tin.
It was free, but
yeah,
bless them, they're still trying. We sprayed it, but I don't think you were meant to.
No, no, you don't spray it because that took weeks to go off.
Yeah, well, if you get this, don't put it
tacky.
Don't put it through a sprayer because it takes absolutely ages to go off. So I think that was we lowered our hands up. We got it. Put it through a sprayer. Don't do that. It looked nice when it dried eventually.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those graffiti coats that will stay wet.
Graffiti coats?
Yeah, do you not remember those graffiti
What do you mean, remember? I am 30 years younger than you. I've been doing this a lot less than you.
Used to get paint that was...
I love it when you do that. You get this sort of thing where you think that we've been working together since you started. Oh yeah, I remember doing duet, yeah. Do you not remember rag rolling? No, I don't, mate. I started doing this in 2018.
Duet was you might as well just taken them to the cash machine. Go on, put your card in, get the money out.
I still think there's like a cool
well, saying that
because you always say to me that there's no market for it anymore. There's no market for it anymore.
Let's make a market.
I don't think people know about it. What we went and done that job where we were painting over duet, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I think it'd be fantastic because it was an oil-based. It was oil-based, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah,
it looked oil-based. It looked sort of that toughness that you get from an oil.
No, it was
But it looked like clouds on a summer's day to me.
You can make it.
I imagine you could quite easily I've
still got a duet roller in the yard.
Yeah, I know.
It's
like what do they call it? A nursery. I think it'd look really good because it'd be tough on the walls and it looks really nice.
Should we do that then? Should we bring it back?
Yeah.
Well, earlier in the year, January, we didn't have a lot of work on. So we actually built...
I think we've talked about
what,
this.
in the lost episodes?
In the lost tapes.
Oh, well,
it's fine. If you need to find them, find them. You're not idiots.
We've built, because we were a bit quiet in January, I'll go over it again in case you haven't heard the lost tapes. We built a room set, so we could actually use that. The idea was we built this room set because 2024, we're going to make a real big impact on Instagram.
Well, I called it the why because we were sat there after we'd built it.
Yeah.
Sort of, it was boarded, it hadn't been skimmed yet, but it was boarded. And me and Dad were sat there, freezing cold in the yard, and I looked at it and I went, why the fuck have we done this?
Yeah.
And that's why we call it the why. Because it's the why the fuck have we built this?
Yeah.
It looks quite good though. It was I think what I've learned out of it is that you can fuck spreads off because you just use roll plaster now. Just roll it on, skim it off, Merc it a lot.
Yeah.
Don't give any money to them.
And for some reason, we put it on wheels. And then
I don't know why it's on wheels. I still don't understand why it's on wheels.
we've put it on wheels and then screwed it to the existing stud work.
I think that was the one because his dad kept trying to come up with. Dad's thing is that's favourite thing ever is scope creep. If you could get a job doing scope creep, mate, you'd be making millions. Because there was talk of hinges and folding.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make two, weren't we? In a box.
No, we never were.
Oh, no.
You talked about it a lot, but we were never gonna do that.
That's where the wheels come in.
So I think the wheels is the one thing I let you sort of have to keep you busy and stop coming up with other ideas. That's why it's on wheels.
Yeah, but then we just screwed it to the existing stud work.
It's just strapped to
so
the stud work.
we've got a good showcase for Duet.
Yeah. We've got a good showcase for anything.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We've got a good showcase for panel wallpapering.
Yeah, but I don't understand how you'd get the panels to fully go into the wall, mate.
This is my thing.
Because if you do the top but then if you balance in the middle and on the bottom, and then how do you get full panels into in the wall?
No one can. If you can answer me this question,
if you can ask the question. I'm sure I'd be able to answer it, but I don't understand. But
do you want me to go through it one more time?
No, not really. No.
Dunelm did or do. I don't know if they do still do it. 3D panel wallpapering, right? Wallpaper on a roll. My thing is, how do you make it look good on a wall? Because it's either you're gonna have a half a panel at the top, at the bottom. As you go into the corner, you're not gonna have full panels, so it looks like proper paneling. It's gonna look like what it is. Because if you were chippy, you'd set out the panels on the wall so that they were symmetrical. Is that the word?
So
they're all balanced.
Yeah.
But with wallpaper, it's just going to look like a shit show.
Yeah.
So is there a way of making 3D wallpaper, panel wallpaper, look good on a wall? I don't think there is. I've actually even got to
I don't think anyone would
notice.
I don't think anyone would notice.
It looked awful. I mean,
I don't think awful.
You could match it from the top because you'd lose it behind furniture and stuff like that at the bottom. But into a corner, it just maybe I'm overthinking it.
I think you are. I think you're overthinking it.
Someone can please answer me that question. Also, have we got the? Are you gonna put the thing back in place that was really popular?
No, what the anonymous feedback form?
Yeah, is that?
Yeah, I'm sure I could.
Can we mention that now or not?
I don't know if we can mention it now. Like I say, I feel like we're just doing a
pilot.
Yeah, we're shaking the rust loose a little bit. I'm just sort of. I'm not gonna. Well,
you're not gonna admit to anything.
So.
We've done 30 minutes.
The thing I will. Well, we've done 37 minutes.
Exactly.
The thing I will commit to.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do about 10 minutes ago before you started talking about panel wallpaper.
Okay.
We're not going to use Matey's college project anymore. I don't think.
No.
The pod fan is now defunct. So if you're still paying into the pod fan, please stop. Please stop.
Oh, believe me, they've started to.
Good.
Thank you for your support anyway.
Yeah, I do appreciate the support. Even the support when we weren't doing it. I bought myself a flash pair of football boots off of the pod fan money. Flashes. I got a pair of Tiempos off of the podcast
I did write on them in Sharpie, sponsored by
Two Decs
One Mic. So yeah.
But I had the idea that I'm gonna do it. Well, we might do, I might do it on two, just for the people that would get shouted at by their missus if they saw it on the bank statement, because it does. Trust me, it definitely shows up in your Monzo. There's no hiding it. It doesn't come up as like
before we actually
fish and chip shopping.
Before we announce where Ryan's genius idea is, we've had various reactions from people. We've said that's just fucking weird.
I told some chippies on site the other day, and he looked at me like, "You freak, absolute freak." That was Jordan.
Yeah, you're not fucking normal. And other people have just got it and found it hilarious.
Mostly, what it is I want to be able to introduce myself to people, and they go, "So what do you do?" And I go, "Oh, I do a bit of painting and decorating, but the real money comes from I make content on OnlyFans with my dad." And I just want to be able to drop that into a conversation and then just explain nothing else about it.
Walk away.
Just walk away. Just don't talk about it. What do you mean? Oh yeah, well we produce some videos and a bit of content on there, and then but what about this? What do you do for a living? And just sort of
We've got
make people think.
We've got the branding and the merch sorted out. We've got t-shirts lined up.
I'm gonna do one on Patreon, because Patreon is easy, and the reason we didn't do it on there before is because they take a bit of a bigger split of the money. But I think it's the convenience would be worth it.
Yeah.
And
then it doesn't have to be marked every term either.
Yeah. And then we're gonna launch on OnlyFans, because I just think it'd be funny as fuck. And then hopefully, because I don't know if you've ever been on OnlyFans,
and also think about it. But think about this. It also gives the people that want to be on OnlyFans
a nice excuse.
Yeah, and a legitimate excuse.
I listen to a podcast. But there's five transactions a month, so. So
yeah, we could be a proper.
I was gonna do it on OnlyFans, and they also on OnlyFans they promote their content creators sometimes on the front page, and they do an awful lot of collaborations. So that's what I'm lining up. That's what I'm trying to line up. Maybe a collaboration with some other OnlyFans content creators, because fuck me, there's a couple I'd like to. Jesus,
you've really given this is the most thought you've given anything, right?
Pandora Nixie, if anyone's looking for something. Woo!
I can't believe this.
She had to get a breast reduction surgery.
This is the most engaged you've been about doing anything on this podcast ever.
Yeah, so I'm going to be making content on OnlyFans with my dad, because I think that's fucking hilarious.
Let us know in the comments below. I
can guarantee I don't think there's anyone else on OnlyFans doing things with their dad.
In the comments below, please let us know what you think. Just comment. Great idea, bad idea. You're fucking weird.
Yeah.
Just let us know. That would be fantastic if you could. Then we can know what we're doing going forward.
Yeah, I think. So I think that's my lot. I think I need to go and pick up the van probably.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Do you reckon? I've not had a call, but I've been in here, so I wouldn't have had a call, would I?
Exactly. So yeah. So hopefully, till next time.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us on this shaking the rust off. What do they call it? A screen test.
Pilot. It's a pilot, isn't it? When you just testing.
I thought it was a screen. I thought that was a screen test, because we were testing out the equipment.
No, you're thinking of OnlyFans again. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Right. Yeah. Let us know what you think.
I don't have my phone on me. I'll give you some more recommendations.
Let us know what you think. Until next time, I hope this is
scratch the niche.
Scratch the niche. Yeah,
fill the hole. Still thinking about OnlyFans. Do we have an outro?
No, we did.
Do we have an outro? No, we don't.
No, we normally play music.
I've got decorate. I've got applause.
Oh
God! Do you reckon you got something? I can find a tune quick.
We haven't deserved any applause. Hang on a minute. What's going on? Oh, we're over here. So. Oh, God.
Do you like that? I managed to avoid the
you did
microphone
very
on the
well.
way down.
Very well there. So we're going back to we sticking with.
No, you're going to need a license, aren't you? Again.
Well, that's all right.
No, we'll find something.
Yeah. The OnlyFans money will cover it, hopefully.
I'm not even. I don't even. That's how long it's been. Don't even have the desk on this new phone yet.
God, we've got a pair and everything.
Yeah.
So bear with. What's that one do?
Nothing, because the slider's down.
Okay. I was just trying to find something to it. No, because then we're going back to the old ways.
Exactly. See, you're just playing jingles
I
and
stopped
stuff
myself.
to get it. Yeah.
It's so easy to slip into bad habits.
Oh, it's so easy.
So yeah,
there you go. I reckon all of these guys are dead now, so they're not going to come for their they're not going to come for their copyright.
Okay.
I like this song a lot as well.
Right.
A good jam.
Catch you later.
Yeah, in a bit, guys. Peace and love.
Do you want to do another one? I like that. That's good.
No,
you don't
do another one. No.
I was getting into that because I've got a good one. I was listening to Timpson's mate the other day.
Yeah.
And his management thing is that you can do whatever you want for Timpson's, run the branches however you want, as long as it makes you happy, and abiding by the first rule, or makes you happy and it's legal. So,
What I like about the Timpson's menu is he gives managers are allowed £50, and if it fixes a problem and it's £50, you can just take the money, don't get questioned.
Yeah.
If you're above that, it's £500. If £500 sorts it out, yeah, no questions. Above that, it's £5,000. You can just fix, like if you're like an area manager.
yeah.
£5,000 to sort a problem, yeah, cool, sort it out, don't worry about it, and then it keeps going up. So then, like a CEO and the directors, you get £500,000.
Yeah.
So if you need a big study or you need like consultants or something,
That's what he said. He said you should be involved in the real top end decisions, and then back on the ground. He said all the shit to the middle. You never have to worry yourself about. You've got people that do that for you. He said, but yeah, he said go in the shops. He said be you know the cold face.